Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for qualifying here at the TikTok Desert Nationals. Again, we start with Mario Kart. Top Fuel Funny Car Pro Stock. Ready to go. Our first pair. Two newcomers. We have Lakitu in the far lane, Light Blue Yoshi in the near lane. Lakitu a 166.9 on his first official run and a 170 with the 5 for Light Blue Yoshi. So Lakitu goes to number 1, Light Blue Yoshi number 2. Our next pair, Rosalina in the far lane, Bowser Jr. in the near lane. 171.5 for Rosalina, 178.4 for Bowser Jr. We're going to go 3 and 4. Our next pair, we have Princess Peach in the far lane and Baby Peach in the near lane. I was never going to run one like this, but it happened. Princess Peach a 168.3 and Baby Peach a 171.4. Princess Peach, number 2. Princess Peach, number 2. Baby Peach. Possibly number 4. I'll let you know in a moment. I was right. Princess Peach. 2. Baby Peach. 4. Our next pair, Wario in the far lane, Koopa Troopa in the new car, in the near lane. Koopa gets stopped on the starting line at 169.1 for Wario, my bad. Koopa Troopa will have to try again next time. Wario goes to number 3 spot. Koopa Troopa's going to have to try next session to make a run. Our next pair, we have Waluigi in the far lane, Diddy Kong in the near lane. And Waluigi at 170 with a 3, Diddy Kong at 170 with an 8. Waluigi goes number 5, Diddy Kong goes number 6. Our next pair, we have Donkey Kong in the far lane, Cat Peach in the near lane. Donkey Kong a 169.4, Cat Peach a 170 with a 6. Donkey Kong goes number 4, Cat Peach goes number 7. Our next pair, we have Shy Guy in the far lane and Baby Mario in the near lane. A 171.6 for both. Baby Mario got the win light, so he will get the higher spot. Baby Mario goes 11, Shy Guy goes 12. Our next pair, we got Red Yoshi in the far lane. Red Yoshi far lane, Toadette near lane. Red Yoshi a 167.4, Toadette goes a 174.2. Red Yoshi goes number 2, Toadette goes number 14. Because of Koopa Troopa not leaving the start line, we do not have a bomb spot yet. This would be the bomb spot run. But we have Bowser in the far lane, Luigi in the near lane. Bowser 168.2, Luigi 171.6. Bowser goes to number 3, Luigi goes to number 15. Toadette is now in the bump spot with a 174.2. Our next pair, we got Green Yoshi in the far lane, Mario in the near lane. A 168.7 for Yoshi and a 168.8 for Mario. Green Yoshi goes number 5, Mario goes number 6. Shy Guy now on the bump with a 171.6. Our next pair, we have Toad in the far lane, Baby Luigi in the near lane. Luigi struggled off the line, a 167.4 for Toad, and a 181.5 for Luigi. Toad up to the number 3 spot, Baby Luigi that was, not Luigi. They were in a 181.5, number 21. Bomb spotted on Baby Mario with the 171.6. Our final pair. we have the recent race winner, Light Blue Shy Guy, in the near lane. Dry Bones, the runner-up from the Winter Nationals, in the far lane. Light Blue Shy Guy struggles in the near lane. 167.7 for Dry Bones and 182.5 for Light Blue Shy Guy. And after session 1 of Mario Kart, here's your current standings. Lakitu, his first run down the racetrack, a 166.9, and he is your number 1 qualifier. Followed by Red Yoshi, Toad, Dry Bones, Bowser, Princess Peach, Yoshi, Green Yoshi, and Mario rounding out the top 8. Bottom half of the field, got Wario number 9, followed by Donkey Kong, Light Blue Yoshi, Waluigi, Cat Peach, Diddy Kong, Baby Peach, and Rosalina on the bump with a 171.5. Outside looking in, Baby Mario, Shy Guy, Luigi, Toadette, Bowser Jr., Baby Luigi, Light Blue Shy Guy, and Koopa Troopa, who has no time. Pro Stock Session 1. Next. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the TikTok Desert Nationals. It's time for Pro Stock qualifying session number 1. Up first, we have Jason Line in the near lane. We have the newest Pro Stock driver for Team Thunder, Bones, in the far lane. Not only doing top field, he will now be running Pro Stock. A 174.6 for Bones, and a 188 flat for Jason Line. Bones goes number 1, Jason Line goes number 2. Our next pair, V Gaines in the near lane, Greg Anderson in the far lane. $182.1 for V Gaines and a $183.8 for Greg Anderson. V Gaines goes number 2, Greg Anderson goes number 3. Our next pair, we had Warren Johnson in the far lane, Kenny Koreski in the near lane. Warren Johnson a 181.4, Kenny Koreski a 187.9. Warren Johnson in number 2, Kenny Koreski in number 5. Our next pair, we have Roger Dodger in the far lane, Vidiski in the near lane. A 174.7 for Roger Dodger, a 181.9 for Vidiski. Roger Dodger misses the number 1 spot by 2 thou. Roger Dodger goes number 2, Vidiski goes to number 4 spot. Our next pair, we have Dave Hazard in the far lane, Erica Enders in the near lane. $175.7 for Vidiski and a $177.2 for Erica Enders. Dave Hazard goes into number 3, Erica Enders goes number 4. Our next pair, we have CM Punk in the far lane, Fireball in the near lane. A 173.8 for CM Punk and a 174.4 for Fireball. They're going to go number 1 and 2. Our next pair, we have Alan Johnson in the far lane, Dave Conley in the near lane. Two good runs, a 175 flat for Alan Johnson, a 176.4 for Dave Conley. Alan Johnson goes number 5, Dave Conley goes number 7. Our next pair, we have Biggie in the far lane, Hockey in the Biggie far lane, Hockey near lane. Good runs, a 174.6 for Biggie and a 175.5 for Hockey. Biggie goes number 4, Hockey goes number 7. We now have a bump spot. Jason Line on the number 16 spot, the bump spot, with a 188 flat. Our next pair, John Cena in the far lane, Toyota in the near lane. A 171.4 for Toyota, a 172.8 for John Cena. Toyota's going to go number 1. John Cena is going to go number 2. Greg Anderson now sitting on the bump, the 183.8. Our next pair, we have Civic in the far lane, reigning champion Fast Fish in the near lane. 171.8 for Civic and a 173 flat for Fast Fish. Civic goes number 2. Fast Fish goes number 4. Vidusky now in the bump spot with a 181.9, our final pair. The runner-up and the race winner from the Winter Nationals. Runner-up, Zan in the far lane. Winter Nationals winner, Bulma in the near lane. Bulma in a newer car again. A white one. 2 good runs, a 173 flat for Zan and a 174.3 for Bulma. And here's your current field for Pro Stock after Session 1. Toyota is your number 1 qualifier currently with a 171.4, followed by Civic, Cena, Fish, Zan, Punk, Bulma, and Fireball rounding out the top 8. The bottom half of the field, we got Bones, followed by Biggie, Roger Dodger, Alan Johnson, Hockey, Hazard, Conley, and Eric Andrews sitting on the bump with her 177.2. Currently not qualified, we got Warren Johnson, Vidusky, V. Gaines, Greg Anderson, Kenny Koretsky, and Jason Line. Funny car. Session 1. Next. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the TikTok Desert Nationals. It's time for Funny Car qualifying session number 1. Up first, Ron Capps back in the fray with a new funny car. He will be up first. He did not run at the Winter Nationals. So here we go. A 188 flat for Ron Capps. Ron Capps goes number 1 for now. Our first pair. Tony Barton in the far lane, Frank Pedregon in the near lane. A 180 with a 2 for Frank Pedregon, a 182.3 for Tony Barton. Frank Pedregon goes number 1, Tony Barton goes number 2. Our next pair, we have Courtney Force in the far lane, Tommy Johnson Jr. in the near lane. Courtney Force a 178.6. Tommy Johnson Jr. 181.1. Courtney Force goes number 1. Courtney Force number 1. Tommy Johnson Jr. number 3. Our next pair, we have Matt Hagan in the far lane, Bob Gilbertson in the near lane. $181.6 for Hagan. A 210. A 2010. I don't know why the second one didn't go there. It's a 2010 for Gilbertson. Matt Hagan goes number 3. Bob Gilbertson goes number 7. Our next pair, we have Robert Height in the far lane. We have Sinister in the near lane. Sinister on 173.1 will take the number 1 spot at 181.1 for Robert Height. Sinister goes number 1. Robert Height goes number 6. On the next pair, we have Mello in the far lane. Del Worsham in the near lane. And Del Worsham hits the center cone. He will be disqualified. Mello gets a 173.3. That will count. So Mello goes up to number 2. He goes to number 2 qualifier. Del Worsham is okay. His run is disallowed. So we'll have another shot at it in the next session. Our next pair, we have Jim Epler in the far lane, John Force in the near lane. A 177.1 for Jim Epler and a 186.5 for John Force. And Jim Epler goes number 3, John Force goes number 10. Our next pair, we have Tony Pedregon in the far lane, reigning champion Mellon in the near lane. Mellon a 175 flat. And Tony Pedregon a 176.9. Mellon goes number 3. Tony Pedregon goes number 4. Our next pair, we have Cruz Pedregon in the front lane, Dale Creasy Jr. in the near lane. And Cruz Pedregon a 170 with an 8. He will go number 1 qualifier. A 178.3 for Dale Creasy Jr. Cruz Pedregon goes to number 1 spot. Del Creasy Jr. goes number 7. We now have a bump spot. Bob Gilbertson now on the bump with his 201 flat. Our next pair, we have Jimmy Pedregon in the near lane. We have Scoop Ricardo in the far lane. $175.2 for Ricardo, at $179.9 for Jimmy Pedregon. Scoop Ricardo goes number 5. Jimmy Pedregon goes number 10. John Force now on the bump. The 186.5. Our next pair, we have Thunder in the far lane, Halatic in the near lane. A 170 with a 3 for Thunder, a 172.1 for Halatic. Thunder goes right to the top, number 1 by 0.05 of a second. And Halatic goes number 3. Matt Hagan currently on the bump with a 181.6 in our final pair. We have the runner-up and the winner from the Winter Nationals. Eric in the far lane. Winter Nationals winner, Fisher in the near lane. Now 173 flat for Eric and a 173.4 for Fisher. Your funny car field currently after session 1 is as followed. Thunder is your number 1 qualifier with 170 with a 3. Followed by Cruz Pedregon, Halatic, Eric, Sinister, Mello, Fisher, and Mellon, rounding out your top 8. Your bottom 8, the bottom half of the field, you got Ricardo sitting number 9, followed by Tony Pedregon, Jim Epler, Dale Creasy Jr., Courtney Force, Jimmy Pedregon, Frank Pedregon, and Tommy Johnson Jr. sitting on the bump, the 181.1. Currently not qualified. We have Robert Height, Matt Hagan, Bob Gilbertson at the end there, Tony Bartone, John Force, Ron Capps, Bob Gilbertson with times, and Dale Worsham without a time due to crashing. Top field, session number 1, next. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the TikTok Desert Nationals. It is time for Top Fuel, qualifying session number 1. 23 Top Fuel dragsters here, with the newest one being Terry McMillan in the Emily Oil Top Fuel dragster. He'll be on his own first. See what he can do. 209.4. He's got them rubber tires. It's going to be difficult for him at first, but he'll run better. For now, Terry McMillan goes number 1 qualifier. Our first pair. Last week at the Winter Nationals, this was to be Ginger and Harley, which is no more. We now have Fisher from Funny Car in the far lane. We have Samantha from Pro Select Thunder Cycles in the near lane. They have taken over the top fuel seats. Fisher far, Samantha near. Good run. A 185.9 for Samantha, 189.4 for Fisher. They go 1 and 2. Samantha goes number 1, Fisher goes number 2. Our next pair, we have Leah Pruitt in the far lane, Morgan Lucas in the near lane. $189.2 for Morgan Lucas and a 196.4 for Leah Pruitt. Morgan Lucas goes number 2. Leah Pruitt goes number 4. Our next pair, Doug Coletta in the far lane, Antron Brown in the near lane. Dougie has problems. You see he stops here at 191.3 for Antron Brown. Antron Brown goes number 4. Doug Coletta will have another shot at it in the next session. Our next pair, we have Sean Langan in the far lane, Austin Prock in the near lane. Sean Langan a 188.1. Austin Prock a 197.3. Langan goes number 2. Austin Prock goes number 7. Our next pair, we have Clay Milliken in the far lane. We have Melanie Troxel in the near lane. Milliken also has issues. The same spot Coletta did. And will not finish the run. A 178.7 for Melanie Troxel. So Clay Milliken will have another shot at it the next session. Melanie Troxel goes number 1. Our next pair, we have Ronald Herman Smith in the far lane, Corey Mack in the near lane. Teammates. Ronald Herman Smith, a 185 flat. Corey Mack, a 184.9. That's going to go 2 and 3. The Corey Mack goes 2. Ronald Herman Smith goes number 3. Our next pair. Tony Schumacher in the far lane, Brittany Force in the near lane. 183.9 for Schumacher, a 189.1 for Brittany Force. Tony Schumacher goes number 2. Brittany Force goes number 7. Our next pair, we have Larry Dixon in the far lane. And this is a Brandon Bernstein dragster. Kenny driving it for now to get it broken in. So Dixon far lane, Kenny Bernstein near lane. And look at that, it's already running pretty good. 183.5 for Dixon and 187 flat for Kenny Bernstein. Larry Dixon goes number 2. Kenny Bernstein goes number 7. Our next pair, we have Gary Selzy in the far lane. We got Thunder in the near lane. Yeah, 182.6 for Selzy, a 183.3 for Thunder. Good run. Selzy goes number 2. Thunder goes number 3. Austin Prock is your bump spot with his 197.3. Our next pair, Brandon Bernstein in the King Kenny car in the far lane. Mike Dunn in the New York Yankees car in the near lane. A 177.9. That's a new national record for top fuel. And the number 1 spot for Brandon Bernstein, a 180 with a 4 for Mike Dunn. So Brandon Bernstein takes that number 1 spot with that national record time of a 177.9. Mike Dunn goes number 3 in our final pair with Antron Brown in the bump with a 191.3. Final pair, runner-up from the Winter Nationals, Joe Amato in the far lane. Winner of the Winter Nationals, Bones in the near lane. And a 178.3 for Joe Amato, 181.6 for Bones. So after session 1 of Top Fuel, which Joe Amato goes number 2, Bones goes number 5. Here's your current field after session 1. Brandon Bernstein, your number 1 qualifier with a 177.9, followed by Joe Amato, Melanie Troxel, Mike Dunn, Bones, Gary Selzy, Thunder, and Larry Dixon rounding out the top 8. Your bottom half of the field, number 9, Tony Schumacher, followed by Corey Mack, Ronald Herman Smith, Samantha, Kenny Bernstein, Sean Langdon, Brittany Force, and Morgan Lucas on the bump with his 189.2. Currently not qualified. Fisher, Antron Brown, Leah Pruitt, Austin Prock, Terry McMillan with times, and Clay Milliken and Doug Coletta, another shot in the second session. Mario Kart, Session 2, next.